Alright, here we go to finish up the passenger section. We're going to put on the front hole and the back hole. Truthfully, there's very little difference in looking at the numbers here. It looks like the holes are the exact same size with the same depth. The problem is I think that the one is a little bit offset. So 0.29 is the height from this one to this one. It does not give us the height of this one to here, so we're going to assume it's going to be centered. We'll do a little math to show that. And 0.38 is where this one is at, where this one is 0.39. So it's just a little bit offset here. So let's give this a try and see where we can go. So once again, my view cube, going to the front, I'm going to put a new sketch. Looking at the size of my square, it says it's 2.4 by 0.93. So I'm going to take my rectangle. You can see these other lines that are popping up here. Make sure that you're doing something that does not connect to those lines. So you can see I've now just got that placed there. And from there we can figure out exactly how big and where we want that piece to be. So we're going to go 2.4 and 0.93. And then if I remember right, it says that this rectangle is 0.39 from the side. So we'll go ahead and dimension 0.39 from the side. And then it does not give us this dimension for some reason. I'm not sure why, other than I think it's telling us that it wants it to be centered. So for it to be centered, we can use our calculator just to make sure we have it. It was 1.52, so we can take 1.52, subtract the 0.93, and we're going to divide that in half to find that distance, so 0.295. So we will go back here and make this dimension 0.295. We can finish the sketch. We're going to extrude it. Once again, it looks like it's extruding the wrong direction, so we want to flip it. And the dimension it does say is 0.57. I have that from previous practice. So 0.57 is what that is supposed to be. We're going to click OK. And then we're going to fillet the inside of this, and it says that those fillets are 0.2. So we're going to go back here, use our fillet tool, make sure that this says 0.2 there. It does for me. I'm going to click the 4 fillets. And click apply. I can cancel out of that. And now I have the front of that piece completed. So I think we have that okay. So on the back side of this, let's go ahead and we're going to do a new sketch. We want the same size rectangle. Now it gets really hard here because it's not going to be in the exact same place. It's really hard to find a place to put this. So make sure that you're not starting on another line. Otherwise the computer is going to connect it for you and you're not going to want that connection. So I'm just going to go up here and make sure I'm not hitting anything and put something down there. So under dimension, I know that this was supposed to be 2.4. This was supposed to be 0.93. And looking at my piece, it says it's 0.29 from the top and 0.38 from the side. So we're going to do a dimension of 0.29 from the top, 0.38 from the side, and now we have that placed correctly, and we can finish our sketch. And we're going to once again extrude it. We want it to go back, and 0.57 is still the correct amount. So we're okay there. We're going to click OK, and once again it has the inside fillets as 0.2. So we're going to go to each of these. And click apply. And we can cancel. And so we're really close to being done. I'm going to go up here under generic. We're going to change this to be under wood birch. Looks like it's about the right shade for what we want. Last thing we want to do is we want to go back to the front of this piece. Here's the front. We want to turn it so we can see the front. That we want to have a decal or something put here to recognize that this is the front. So to do this, I'm going to put a new sketch on this flat part. So right click New Sketch. I'm going to go up and I'm going to put in a text. I'm just going to draw a rectangle, or just click up here, and I'm going to type in T9. Now, I'm going to change the first one to be a little bit bigger, make it a capital T, and I'm going to highlight it and make it bold. And then the second one I'm going to make smaller and not bold it, and that's the 9. So T9 is the vehicle. I'm going to click OK. And you can see it puts it there. I can then hit escape. I can move this around to where I want it. I can dimension it how far I want it to be. I think this would be a good thing to be about 1/4 of an inch or 0.25 back. And from the very top to the top of that, we want that to be 0.35. So that tells us where we have that, and now that I look at that, I think 0.25 will be just fine, as that'll tell us where the front is. So I'm going to finish my sketch, and for some reason it kept on some of my stuff here. So over here on my sketch, I can go and turn off the visibility. It turned off everything, so I'm going to turn that back on for a second, just so we see it. And so my sketch is here. I'm going to go up to where it says emboss. I want my emboss to be in, and I want it to be barely visible, 0.001. So just barely embossed. I'm going to click that piece. You can see I have it right now. It says it's coming out. Oh, nope, it's going in. The red means it's going in. And I'm just going to click OK. And you can see that it takes that piece and puts it, just sort of cuts out a little bit of the T9. I can go up to my color system, make it black. Oops. Undo that. I'm going to highlight that and make that black, and then highlight that and make that black. So I have my piece there, and then I'm going to go do the same exact thing on the other side. So I have my new sketch. Make sure that this is still the front, this is still the front. So I'm going to put in text, click here. Once again, and make this one just a little bit bigger and bold. And make that a capital T. Make the second one just a little smaller and unbold. And make that a 9. Make that OK. Puts it there. Once again, dimension 0.25 from the side. 0.35 from the top. And then emboss. Or I'm sorry, finish my sketch. Emboss, make sure it's 0.001, make sure it's going the right direction. Click on what you want to emboss and click OK. You can see it's there. Once again, I'm going to highlight that and make it black. And make that one black. And now I have my piece. So from here, I'm going to do a file, save as, save it to my inventor parts that I have in my, so this is my passenger section. Hit save. I'm going to take a picture of this, a picture of this, And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here under File. There's a thing called iProperties. We're going to go over to where it says Physical, and we're going to click Update. And this is going to tell me if you've built this correctly. You should have the same mass, surface area, and volume that I do. Take a picture of this. This goes into your portfolio. Hope that you get this done. Please ask questions as you need it.